Hi, welcome to the channel. You're watching Chima, and this is the Capitalist Show. So, today my video is a little bit different compared to the last 2 to 3 videos that I have uploaded. Today, we're going to be explaining the financial background and the cost of the US Iran war, something that a lot of news channels share somewhat of. Individual journalists don't go behind it as much as they're supposed to. But today I'm gonna, go ahead and tell everyone how much everything costs and where we are standing right now as a peace deal is hopefully gonna be signed soon. So the first thing that we have for you is according to the Wall Street Journal, the US government has already spent over $111 billion on this war. Now, to understand how much that is, we are spending $1 billion every single day to keep fighting. Just to have our troops in the Middle East, just to fight Iran, everything costs us $1 billion. Now, according to the Center of Strategic and International Studies, when the war first started, we blew through $3.7 billion in just 4 days. That means we were burning about $890 million right out the gate at that time. Now it's up to $1 billion a day. So, according to CNBC, the government told us the war only cost $29 billion at first, which is a lot of money that people don't realize. But that was just the rockets we shot. Now the president is asking Congress for additional $200 billion in emergency money to pay the bills for this war. We are spending a lot of money. I know that's a lot of information. We spent 100. So just to overview for you guys, $111 billion has been spent overall, $1 billion per day, and President Donald Trump is requesting Congress for $200 billion in emergency money. Now, the second thing that I wanted to tell you guys about that no one has, I think, really put a list of and told the people is how much aircrafts and jets and everything have we lost in this war. So, according to the government report by Congressional Research Service, the US military lost or broke at least 42 of our own planes in just 40 days. So, according to First Post and Aerospace Global News, the government wrote down the cost of these planes as $2.6 billion. But the real price to replace them is closer to $7 billion. Why is that, you would think? Because they don't make the old planes anymore. So we have to buy the super expensive next generation jets or planes to replace them. So a lot of these that have been shot down are older fighter jets and planes that we had. Now, some of them that I can tell you is we have lost 4 F-15E fighter jets, and that costed $125 million to just make one. We have lost 7 flying gas tankers, KC-135S. If anyone is interested in the military, I'm guessing you know what they are. They costed $260 million to get new ones. We have lost 24 big Reaper drones. These drones, these flying robot cameras cost $30 million each, and we have lost 24 of them. 2 special rescue planes, MC-130JS. If you are interested in the military weapons, I'm guessing you know what they are. Now, to get brand new of them would cost $114 million each. And 1 giant radar plane, or E3 Century. So this plane, to replace it, would cost over 700, I mean, over dollars. My bad, not 700, $500 million. So those are pretty big amounts of aircraft that we have lost. The good thing is they are a bit older, so it didn't hit us as bad as it would cost if newer ones did fall. From what my report has, they are a bit older, but this, at the end of the day, this was useless. We didn't have to lose these. We only lost them because we went into this stupid war. So, just comment below, what do you guys think about this? What are your opinions on this? And if there was a message that you could send President Donald Trump telling him all these aircrafts that we have lost and how much it's costing us, what would you tell him? Go ahead and comment that below. Now, the next thing that we have is big drones, big rockets versus cheap drones. What do I mean by that? Well, let me get started and I think you guys will understand. So, according to the military experts of defense priorities, the US is getting a really bad deal with this fight. Iran is attacking us with tiny cardboard and plastic drones that only cost them $35,000 to make each of them. Only $35,000. But to stop them, the US has to shoot them down with giant Patriot missiles that cost $3.7 million each, or missiles that cost up to $12.7 million each. So Iran is making it for 35 million for $35,000 and attacking us. America is reacting to those missiles with 3.7 or $12.7 million missiles. Now I understand why they're saying it's really bad. So it is like throwing a brand new house at a toy paper plane. You know, not a good thing. I mean, it's not. We are losing more of the money. Iran is not even getting affected by this. So now, according to the Jewish Institute for National Security of America, during one short 12-day clash, the US fired 92 of our best missiles. That used up to 14% of all the US missiles we had in the entire country. 92 of our best missiles is 14% of our entire rocket fleet. That's not a good thing. So, because our factories are slow, it will 5 whole months of nonstop work just to replace what we have shot in those 12 days. I guess we need to learn from China. Make faster drones, make faster missiles, better missiles, and make sure you're ready for a war before you even go into a war. Even though this was the dumb war, at least be ready to go. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people are waiting for. Here's the thing that, people have questions about. People want to know what's going on. And, just get ready, get the high numbers. Okay. So, according to AAA gas prices, because Iran blocked a main shipping path, the US blocked Iranian ports. So, basically, US blocked Iranian ports, Iran blocked the Strait of Hormuz. So gas surged over 40%, jumping from $2.96 in the US to $4.11. And it actually went even higher than that. Some places here in Philadelphia, I got to see prices at 460, at 456. Though now it has come down, I will say that, but I did see prices go up to that high. Now, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, overall inflation, which is the fancy word for things costing more, a 3-year high of 4.2% in May. So now the government has confirmed that 60% of the prices spike was because of high energy and fuel cost. It's not just gas. Overall energy cost has went up by 23.5%. Grocery prices have went up by 2.7%, and plane tickets are up 27% from last year. So that's things that directly affect us as middle class people. That's things that we use every day or that we use oftenly, and it's pretty much hurting the average American. Now, the war tax on American families. What does that mean? Well, according to the Moody's Analytics, this war has already cost American shoppers a total of $100 billion. What does that mean for you guys? This means the average home in America has lost $750 out of our pockets directly because of this war. $750. $750 from what I told you guys before in energy cost, in grocery prices, and just overall everything has went up. So now, according to the cost of war project at Brown University, we have paid an extra $20.94 billion just on gas and diesel alone. That means the average family spent an extra $300 on gas alone. Those $300 you could have saved, you could have done other things, if it wasn't for this war. President Donald Trump gave us the one big beautiful bill saying that we will have more money to put in our pockets, but more of that money is just going to the cost of this war. So, midterms are right around the corner. I don't know what President Donald Trump is doing. I hope he ends the war quickly, opens up the Strait of Hormuz, and brings inflation down. I hope. But so far, it has cost Americans a lot of money. And, I'm pretty sure Americans are not happy about this. So now the last thing I do have for you guys is according to the Yale Budget Lab and Joint Center, this war acts like a sneaky tax that hurts the poor families, the absolute most. So what does that mean? A middle class family making $85,000 a year is losing up to $2,400, $3,400, my bad, because of the war. But a poor family making only $30,000 a year still has to pay up to $2,500. That is almost one tenth of all the money they make in a whole year, gone just to pay for gas, tariffs, and war debt. I was in favor of tariffs because I understood tariffs. They would bring factories back. They would help the U.S. lower its national deficit and just everything. But I don't understand this war. Why are we in this war? Why are we fighting this war? Because we haven't really accomplished what we went in for. But it's costing the U.S. government directly $111 billion. It costed Americans $100 billion, and now President Donald Trump wants $200 billion more to fund this war. That's sounds like a bunch of crap. Sounds like something that we got pressured in by Israel to go, because I don't think any country would go in a war like this that would cost them this much. And just to wrap up everything, I think I don't want to speak about this no more. I'm surprised about this as much as you guys are, of how much inflation has went up, of how much we have lost, of how much it costs. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I did give you guys a summary of almost everything, I believe. I touched on taxes, I touched on inflation, on the things that we have lost, on direct cost of this war. So if you guys like these videos, go ahead and comment. Let me know what I can improve. Let me know what do you guys like, and let me know what you guys want me to make a video on that you guys would be interested in. And make sure to like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so whenever one of my YouTube shorts or one of my long videos are uploaded, you guys can be the first one to watch. And yeah, have a nice day. Thank you.